Coming up in this episode, Canadian World Cup star makes her way from Alberta to Wollongong. A couple of stories have come out of Castleford Tigers. And the neighbours Wakefield are back in the news as they sign up star halfback. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and if you want to continue seeing more. Well, it's a different camera angle as I've realised that this seat is a little bit higher than normal, and I like a little bit of gap between the top of the screen and my head. It means that I'm centre of the screen. So anyway, we've got some rugby league stories, and I will begin with Castleford Tigers, as there have been a couple of stories that have come through. Some things about new signings and some about what's going on with the squad at this moment in time. Anyway, we're going to start with the potential new signings, as Andy Last has confirmed that Castleford Tigers are on the brink of a couple of signings, who are believed to be Sam Wood and Geordie Crowther. Recent reports identify Castleford as the front runners to land Wood and Crowther, two players that are out of contract at the end of the season. Utility man Wood, 25, has made 76 appearances in the Super League across spells with other Giants and Hull KR, while Crowther, who's 26, has played 87 games at the top level for his hometown club. Last stopped short of confirming the transfers, but he's optimistic about getting the deals over the line. There are two players we've made offers to and that we like, said the Tigers head coach. The discussions have gone well. Hopefully we'll be getting some confirmation in the coming weeks and months. It's a busy time and a challenging time with regards to recruitment. We have those conversations with players we've identified to improve our team, and those two guys are good players. We think they could help us at Castleford Tigers. Their best years are in front of them, they're ambitious, and their desire is to improve. So if Castleford do get those two players over the line, it does ease a little bit of the recruitment conundrum that Last is trying to put together to help the club start an upward trajectory as they languish second from bottom at the table. But this weekend, Last has revealed that his side is dealing with an illness in the camp ahead of Sunday's Challenge Cup clash with Hull. Last admitted that they are limited to what they can do in regards to training to the build-up to Sunday's home tie against Hull. He said having 21 players this week has been a challenge. We've had a bit of illness in the camp. On Tuesday, we had to cancel at the afternoon session because we didn't want players in close proximity in the gym, in the wrestling area, or in the video room. So we just did a field session and asked them to go away and do their bit of on their own in regards to weights and a gym program. Their wellness markers in which they fill in are they're still quite low considering it's a Thursday, which means that they are susceptible to cold, well, whatever illness is running through. You'd normally like to see those wellness markers a little bit higher than what they are after a day off. So it's a bit of illness, a bit of a cough, cold, and other bits running through the camp. It has been lingering for a couple of weeks now. We'll get players isolated away from it, and then we think we've managed to get away from it, but then a couple of days later someone else ends up going down with it. It is lingering a bit longer than we'd like. We're doing everything we can to try and contain it and make sure those who are affected aren't in close proximity with the rest of the squad. It's been a bit of a challenge, but that's rugby league. Every team has these periods where they're doing it rough in terms of bodies, injuries, viruses and illnesses. And we're doing it a little bit tough at the moment. So we'll just crack on. The 17 blokes who will enter the field on Sunday, I'm sure will give themselves a good account of themselves. The Challenge Cup 6 round tie between Castleford and Hull takes place at the Menhorse Jungle on Sunday, in 2 days' time. 3 PM kickoff in the UK and is live on the BBC network, so if you're able to watch it, then fantastic. 2 players that aren't going to be involved though are Jason Carey and Elliot Wallace, who have been cup tied, as Wallace played for the Midlands against Hull Dockers earlier in the Challenge Cup rounds, and Jason Carey played for Bradford in the last one. Anyway, who's going to win between those 2 teams? Next we turn to the NRLW, as the Rugby League World Cup star Ferris Sandboe will become the NRL women's first ever Canadian import, as she links up with the St George Illawarra Dragons on a development deal for the upcoming season. Sandboe hails from a small town of around about 300 people in northern Alberta and touched down in Australia on Tuesday morning. The 31-year-old was all smiles upon arriving in Wollongong. She said, "It's been great so far. I've met so many of the staff and everything. I feel very comfortable and very welcome into the club, and honestly, the view upon arriving is pretty surreal. It feels like I'm walking in a dream right now." A nimble, skilled outside back, Sandboe captured the attention of the Rugby League world when she made her Rugby League World Cup debut for the Ravens against Papua New Guinea in Leeds last November. Dragons NRLW head coach Jamie Soward was one of the names who took note of Sandboe's outstanding play. He said, "When Ferris' highlight package came up, firstly, I was intrigued about someone from Canada wanting to play rugby league. The success story of her making the World Cup and her involvement in that certainly appealed to us. She was going to be really good for what we're trying to build with our culture. She's a little bit older, she's experienced life, she works on a farm, she's got good values, she trains hard." Sandboe, who spent time wrestling and playing rugby union, made her venture into rugby league in somewhat innocuous fashion. Her rugby league journey started very randomly, I guess, about 3 or 4 years ago. Some friends said, "Hey, do you want to come and play a rugby game?" There was a New Zealand team touring around, and it just happened to be a rugby league game. I was grateful when I got accepted onto the World Cup team and trained hard for that. The World Cup was awesome to be a part of, and that's what made me want to continue that journey further into league. She admits the decision to travel abroad in hopes of realising the rugby league dream was a difficult one to make, but is excited at the prospect of becoming the first Canadian ever to play in the NRLW. "I decided to make a big life-changing change stepping into the world of league, because in Canada it's not as dominant of a sport, and here you guys live, breathe rugby league. There definitely was some things at home that I knew we were going to be a little tough leaving, but at the end of the day, when a door opens you should walk through it. I do feel like I'm making a history a bit." Both Sandboe and Seward were hoped that this will spark a closer relationship between the Rugby League and Canada, ever since the Toronto Wolfpack went away and since that partnership with the RFL. The forward vision of 5 or 6 years from now could be Ferris recruiting for the Dragons and sending players over to do their apprenticeship and turn them into NRLW players. It's such a great recruitment tool going forward for the next lot of years, and she can talk to her Canadian teammates at the next World Cup. She might be the first of many that we see in the next couple of years, Seward said to the St George Illawarra Club website. The high standard of the NRLW had a major influence over Sandboe's decision to make the move over to Wollongong. I see it being very high quality. I think it's going to be extremely hard, you know. I'm prepared to get the best hit out of me sometimes, but I'm prepared to also do the same back to others, she laughed. I think the level's going to be the highest in the world. That's what the NRLW is. The Dragons women team kick off their NRLW season against these Newcastle Knights at McDonald Jones Stadium, and that season starts on the weekend of the 22nd of July. That's the St George Illawarra Dragons first game on Saturday the 22nd of July. Other games, please check your listings. And finally we go to the news that Mason Lino would secure his future by signing a new 3-year contract with Wakefield Trinity until the end of the 2026 season. Lino, 29, is currently in his 3rd season at Bellevue, having made the switch to Super League from Newcastle Knights ahead of the 2021 season. The future of the 3-time Samoan international has been a topic of conversation as of late, and with the playmaker having previous links with Leeds Rhinos. Mason has been a bit fractious about that, as Rowan Smith has said that the Leeds Rhinos rumours are just that, rumours, and he's shut them down, with Lino saying his decision to remain at Wakefield was an easy one to make. The Super League strugglers have been without a win since in 2023, with the number 7 featuring in all 12 rounds so far this campaign. Speaking on signing his new deal, he said, "I'm really happy to have secured my future. It definitely wasn't a hard decision for me, as this club's shown faith in me 3 years ago and when other clubs didn't. So I wanted to show some loyalty to them," said the halfback. "What the club are trying to build towards is something I want to be a part of. I enjoy being around the group, and we've got a great bunch of boys. Whilst I know we're not where we need to be at the moment, as a group we are working hard, and I have the utmost faith we can turn this season around. It's a major coup for Wakefield, with the former New Zealand Warriors man also previously linked with Wigan following the retirement of ex-captain Thomas Lulai at the Warriors. To get Mason signed up for the next 3 years is brilliant for the club," said head coach Mark Applegarth. He's been outstanding to work with, and he's a vital part of our rebuild moving forward, not only for his playing ability, but for who he is as a person. I know Mason is excited to be a massive part of our future, and as a club, we are certainly delighted to get this over the line. To be honest, I didn't realise that Mason Lino was 29 years old, and he was a little younger, to be honest. His time in the NRL, since he made his debut in 2015, has been a bit spotty, to be fair, having played for 17 games for the New Zealand Warriors and 17 games for the Newcastle Knights, before the move to the Northern Hemisphere, where he's found a home at Wakefield Trinity. Seems to happen quite a lot with players who go to Wakefield. It seems like a club where players enjoy being as a whole. Maybe there's a little less pressure, maybe it was the environment that the backroom staff put together, or even the coaches. We see players going there being lauded and also thankful for being part of that rugby club. Hopefully it continues, but at this moment in time, they need to turn it around on the field, as well as putting the right building blocks into the team. Last year, they had the Challenge Cup to bounce off, get a win under the belt and boost their confidence, which they did at Warrington in their first Challenge Cup game. They had won a few games in the league beforehand, but were languishing near the bottom and were flirting with relegation, switching positions with Toulouse at the time. Now, they're hoping that that sort of impetus can come in to their squad from this result. And they play, I think it's tonight. So we'll have to have a look out to see where they go. I think it's Batley, but I can't remember. I'll get back to you on that. Anyway, that is the end of the episode. I want to thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide, as well as clicking on that notification bell for any updates on new videos that may be coming your way. I'm going to pause it there a second. That's better. Now, the comment section is open for business, so please let me know what your thoughts are on today's episode and also what your thoughts are on today's stories. But please be respectful as always. Anyway, I'll end the episode there. Tell me what your thoughts are. But at the end of the day, and the end of this episode, I'll just wish you all the very best. So please stay safe, and I'll see you in the next episode.